Hello. The much anticipated England against Scotland Euro 2020 match from yesterday didn't quite live up to all the hype, but it has been a popular conversation topic with my classes through the week, and I wondered if I could spot a link between that and sea defences and coastal management, which I've been delivering to my classes. So after some head scratching, I thought, can I pose a question about this? And I came up with, will Scotland and England be equally affected by coastal erosion and flooding in the future? So to explore this, we must first consider that global sea levels are rising, and ice on the land is melting, and the oceans, of course, are warming up. Perhaps we are seeing, and will continue to see, more storms and bigger waves, leading to more erosion. Of course, this leads to more defences being required along the vulnerable coastlines of our world. We then need to look at more local variations in sea level change. In the UK, isostatic change means that some places are being affected more by these global, what we call eustatic sea level changes than others. So why would that be? Well, during the last ice age, which was at its maximal extent about 22,000 years ago, and came to an end with the start of the Holocene 11,700 years ago, there was a significant weight of ice on Scotland compared to southern England, which was in fact fairly ice-free. Indeed, some of the ice during this time was about 3.5 kilometers thick in certain parts of the world. Places like Canada, Russia, parts of South America had that huge weight of ice on them. Now Scotland didn't have an ice mass quite as thick as that, but there was still a considerable weight on the rocks and the land of Scotland and of northern England. And that weight squashed down the rocks, and then since the ice has melted, those rocks have been bouncing back up. They've been rebounding back upwards over the last 10 or so millennia. So what does that mean? Well, you might argue that Scotland will be less affected by global sea level rise, as some of their coastal areas are bouncing out of the sea, compared to southeast England, where the land is slowly sinking, again because of the isostatic movements that are occurring. And that is exacerbating the impacts of global sea level rise. So future sea level rise, of course, is uncertain. It's going to depend on our present and our future approach to emissions, and what we call anthropogenic climate change, man-made, human-made climate change. But a 10-15 centimetre difference in the extent of the sea level rise that will occur by the end of the century is quite possible. And this will be linked significantly to isostatic adjustment. So maybe the Scottish sea defence cost will rise more slowly than the English one over the course of the 21st century.